Welcome to DTC MTV Product Review.
Hi DTCers, are you there? Are you in there? Yes, I see you.
With your host,
From the Busby Empire
and magician for hire,
spanning the globe,
DTC's very own,
I've been hopping on water,
Guy Portlock.
I didn't get in the movies or star in a role, playing my band on the radio, not on the silver screen or a magazine. That's why I'm a magician. 1, 2, 3, edit! DTC product review time, my friends. I've spent a long time, yes, a long time, for your viewing pleasure, watching Ultra Gum. I've chewed a bit of gum as well recently because of this. And it's an impossible transposition inside a factory sealed package of gum. Another a Richard Sanders release, but this time on board we have Spidey and Devon Yee. I think it's Devon Yee. And I think we're all aware that Richard Sanders is, has been responsible for some excellent releases down the years. And I think I say this, and I take my hat off to the man, that whenever he does a release, boy oh boy, does he bleed it dry in a good way. I mean, no stone is left unturned on the DVDs. They are always full, chock-a-block full of everything you can possibly think that you need to know about this product, and to try and get out of this idea. It's like boom, 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 boom. And actually, I do believe that he makes other DVDs look very lazy in their approach to what they put on a DVD and how it's put together and how it's thrown out there. Whereas when you get one of his DVDs, you just think, wow, there is so much on here and so much information to help me with this effect that, that's a real plus, I think. So what about the effect itself? Well, the effect itself is not a bit confused, I don't think, but you're setting up and watching for one thing, and then there's another added extra, and I'll go on to that in a bit. But the basic thing is you've got a packet of chewing gum, and it can go one of two ways. Their card, they can suddenly, their card vanishes from the deck, and it's actually inside just the cover of the chewing gum box. And then you say, look, and then you rip a corner off and you show that it disappears, and you then open up, and inside the factory sealed chewing gum, inside the plastic, is the corner of the card that you've just ripped, and it's inside, and you can pop it out, they can look at it, they can inspect the box in ink and a fine diddly squat. So that's a very strong thing. It's like, in a way, a torn and restored behind a window. And then so we have that, and then we go on to this other idea where, and you've probably seen this more in the demos, where you'll see an empty chewing gum, and he goes over it, and then you see the card in there. Or, which I like, you say, oh look, and there's the torn corner of your card, and it's not there, it's a different card, and then you just run your hand over, and it changes. That reminds me of, I think it was Jay Valentino's, or whatever it was, JP Valerino, card through window, where you show a card and it's not theirs, and then you change it from the other side. It's almost like that, but in a miniature version. So it's very visual, and it's a very strong routine. So basically, the DVD, you get the instructions start with about the gimmick. Now, what's it like making up the gimmick? Well, I bought the chewing. I'll be honest with you, you need to do it with the blister packs. Okay. Now, I found, excuse me while I saunter over here, The only blister pack ones I could find were these ones, the Trident Splash in Britain. Now we used to have more, but these were the only ones I could find. And the making up of the gimmick was relatively easy. I don't know if I'd want to do it all the time. It's a bit of an effort. It's not much of an effort. I suppose you get better at it. I find once I made up the gimmick with the British one, and he does mention at the end, there's a few sort of irregularities which I thought, oh, but you're directing people to other areas. They're not going to see that. A good management, they're not going to see it. And once you've made up a gimmick, you can use it for a few occasions. You will have to keep making ones up at other times, but it's I think probably for the payoff at the end, it isn't too bad. I've actually performed this at a gig, and it did get very good reactions. Then you go on. I'm just trying to think. Then you go on afterwards, and then there's another thing to do for doing the change. When it changes inside and it goes from one card to the other, or could go from a card to a money or something like that. That's a slightly different setup, and that's a little bit more sketchy. I mean, it's fine, and I'm sure you get away with it, but there's a bit of angle work on that. You want to show it at the right angle. And you do need something else to create this moment where it changes. I'm sure you're probably aware what that might be. And but still very visual, very interesting. And then lots of ideas. So basically, then as we go on the DVD, you get the routines. And there's Richard Sanders' routine, which I like quite a lot, because you get this. As I said, first of all, the card inside the box, and then you take it on a step further, so you've got a bit more of a kicker sort of finish. Then you get a really nice routine by Spidey, which is possibly my favourite, where he talks about going back in time. The bit I like about it is you bring the chewing box into play, and then you show a piece of chewing gum, both sides. And you get them to put it in their hand, and then you do this prediction thing where you predict what the card was, and then say it was the 6 of spades. They open their hands, and now on the chewing gum is the number, the 6 of spades, and they're like, wow, because they've just seen that as completely empty. So that could be seen as a heat thing or something. I mean, that's quite a good, incredible moment. Then you take it on a step further when their card, you rip it, and it goes inside the box in the factory sealed. So that's a good routine. And then there's a whole host of others. There's like a torn bill that is in there. You can do the whole bill inside or just the corner. There's lots and lots of ideas. It goes on and on and on and on, exhausting it almost, which is great. I mean, it's value for money. You get a couple of performances that was also from this other chap, Devon Yee, and I almost feel a bit sorry for him because it's like he's reading from a script almost when he's performing it. It doesn't seem too natural, but because he's doing it with Richard Sanders and it's all his performance. I don't know why we needed that really, but it's fine. And that's about it. I think a bonus. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I thought was quite good. They talk about all different aspects. Should you do this? Should you not? What about this? What about that? And it's like a group chat with the three of them at the end, which actually does address or talk about some interesting points of view of it. So again, good value for money. Lots going on there. I do sometimes think, though, it does make me laugh that I can't remember the amount of times they mentioned factory seal. It's like by the end you are absolutely brainwashed with this into thinking it has to be good, and you come out and you think, oh, factory seal, factory. And even when I performed it, I went, look, factory sealed, which is almost like an Americanism. I mean, do we say that so much over in the UK? I was just like, look, the foil's not broken. Why didn't I say that? I don't know. But it's kind of like boom, boom, boom. So all in all, I think this is a good purchase because a lot of effort has gone into it, and it is very incredible to the layperson. And it did, I've only done it once, and I'm sure my routine will be more polished and a little bit more interesting. But it got good good results. So I'm going to give it, out of 5 stars, 4.3. 4.4 for the worker, 4.3 for the hobbyist. It does take a bit of effort, and you will have to keep making these gimmicks up after a time. But I think the payback is worth it. So they're my thoughts on Ultra Gun by Richard Sanders and others. All the best.
Thank you for watching DTC MTV Product Review.